You ain't bout it, you ain't bout it, you ain't kick on the mic. You ain't bout it, you ain't bout it, you ain't kick on the mic. You can go and subscribe, cause I be on it right. You ain't bout it, you ain't bout it, you ain't kick on the mic.
Bears fans, this hot take left me absolutely speechless. Hey, what's going on, Bears fans? Thank you so much for joining me for another episode of Keek on the Mic, the podcast all about the Chicago Bears. As always, if you're new to the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button and the bell notification to catch all Bears content right here on the podcast. Bears fans, everyone knows that the Chicago Bears, Ryan Poles, Matt Eberflus, all face a very pivotal decision in regard to the quarterback position. Will they stick at number 1 overall and draft Caleb Williams, or will they stick with Justin Fields and trade the number 1 overall pick in the 2024 NFL draft? And until a decision is made, we will continue to talk about this. But everyone has their opinion. NFL insiders, fans on Twitter, everyone is giving their input on what they think Ryan Poles and the Chicago Bears should do with the number 1 overall pick, or in regard to Justin Fields. And add Boomer Esiason to the list. Everyone knows Boomer Esiason. He's had a lot of hot takes in his television career, but this last one left me absolutely speechless. And in this take, there was a lot of truth to it. He said a lot of crucial points on why he believes the Chicago Bears should draft Caleb Williams. But he also added a little piece where I was like, just taken back by, because I have never heard anyone talk about Ryan Poles in this way. And he basically insinuated, he didn't insinuate, he said, if the Chicago Bears, if Ryan Poles passed on Caleb Williams, Ryan Poles should be fired. Bears fans, check out what he had to say on this quarterback situation in Chicago.
Continues to swirl out in Chicago, and
doesn't matter. It's over.
If you listen to what's going on out there, it doesn't sound like it's completely over. It doesn't.
It's over.
I mean, it should be over.
It's over. They're taking this kid right here, and if they don't take this kid, then Ryan Poles should be fired.
Yeah. I mean,
you got to restart the quarterback clock. You got all the assets from the trades that you've made. You're sitting pretty. You kept your head coach. You got a new offensive coordinator in there. You know, you could say that they should have hired Cliff Kingsbury, but he ended up going to Washington. Caleb Williams is from Washington, D.C.
Well, here's all right. So this is the thing when I say something's going on, and you just touched on it. And if you're the number 1 overall pick, you go to whatever team. So all right. So he's got Cliff Kingsbury down there with the Commanders.
That's right.
Right. And he's from the area.
Right.
And they got a new ownership group, so it's not Dan Snyder. Do we see him pull an Eli Manning?
So, but here's the thing. You know what? Caleb, don't go home. Go to Chicago. They are loaded, and they're going to be good, and they have all these different assets. And, you know, you're going to have a good defense. They've added a number of offensive playmakers over the last 2 years. DJ Moore, I know, did come out and support Justin Fields, that, you know, there's nobody in this quarterback class like Justin Fields. Well, wait until you start playing with, you know, Caleb Williams. You'll find somebody that is.
Yeah.
Bears fans, before I go any further with today's episode of Keek on the Mic, let me know down below in the comment section, what is your initial reaction to what Boomer Esiason had to say on Ryan Poles and this whole Chicago Bears situation in regard to the quarterback situation in Chicago? Once again, he said it's over. It's over. They're taking this kid right here. And if they don't take this kid, then Ryan Poles should be fired. This is an absolutely hot take. He is speaking clearly off emotion. I don't think it goes that deep. I don't really think that Ryan Poles should be fired if he passes on Caleb Williams and decides to keep Justin Fields and possibly trade down from the number 1 overall spot. And that's the big thing. If you do skip on Caleb Williams, that means you're getting an absolute historic haul for the number 1 overall pick, meaning multiple first-round picks, multiple second-round picks, maybe a player or two. It's going to be an historic haul. But on the other end of things, Caleb Williams is a true possibility for Ryan Poles and the Chicago Bears with the number 1 overall pick. And Boomer Esiason said some really good things, right? He said, you know, Caleb Williams, go to Chicago. The Chicago Bears are a good, young and upcoming team. They have some pieces on the offensive side of the football. They have a really good defense. It's the perfect situation for a rookie quarterback. They brought in a new offensive coordinator in Shane Waldron, a guy that's going to play to his players' strengths. So Boomer Esiason is absolutely right in that assessment. The Chicago Bears are a really good football team. They are very, very close to being a dominant team within the NFC conference. And I truly believe that. You look at the Chicago Bears, you have DJ Moore, Cole Kmet, an improving offensive line. Just add to the center position and that offensive line is complete. Maybe add one more weapon with the number 9 overall pick, rather that's Rome Odunze, Brock Bowers. You look on the defensive side of the football. You have a good linebacking core, good secondary, Montez Sweat, good young defensive tackles. Just need to pair another edge rusher with Montez Sweat, and the Bears defense should be top 10 going into next season. So Boomer Esiason is absolutely correct in his assessment that the Chicago Bears have a good team for a young quarterback like Caleb Williams. So he's absolutely correct. But to say that if Ryan Poles and the Chicago Bears skip out on Caleb Williams, Ryan Poles should be fired. That is just a crazy hot take from Boomer Esiason. It's way, way too much. It was just too much. It really left me speechless. I had to take a step back and I was like, did Boomer really say that? And granted, Boomer has said some crazy things in the past. He was also the one when Tyson Bagent took over for Justin Fields when Justin Fields got injured last season for 4 games. And Tyson Bagent went 2-2 in that stint, that he was basically insinuating that the Chicago Bears should stick with Tyson Bagent for the remainder of the season and just be done with Justin Fields. So Boomer Esiason has been known to say a lot of crazy stuff, but this one right here, Boomer, I got to give you a round of applause because this one takes the cake. And I just wanted to come on here on today's episode of Geek on the Mic and just get your guys' opinion on what you guys think about this. Because when I look at Ryan Poles, I feel like outside of the Chase Claypool trade, Ryan Poles has been excellent for the Chicago Bears in the way that he's approached this rebuilding of this Chicago Bears organization. He's been excellent. You look what he did just last year alone, trading away the number 1 overall pick, getting multiple first-round picks, multiple second-round picks, DJ Moore, true number 1 wide receiver that will help elevate the Chicago Bears offense. He helped elevate the Chicago Bears offense this past year, had career highs in his first season with the Chicago Bears. Then you look at some of the other young pieces Ryan Poles has brought in, and Darnell Wright, Tyreek Stevenson, some of the other depth pieces in the secondary. Bringing in Montez Sweat, trading away that second-round pick to bring in Montez Sweat. And obviously Montez Sweat means everything to the Chicago Bears defense. Ryan Poles also in his first year got rid of a lot of key pieces in Roquan Smith, Khalil Mack, plus others to, save money and help the Bears get more draft capital, to get more money to spend in free agency on younger talent. It hasn't always been easy to watch as a Bears fan going through this rebuild, but Ryan Poles, to me, has done an excellent job. But once again, to say that he should be fired if he passes on Caleb Williams would be absolutely crazy. I can tell you this, though, Bears fans. I do have an opinion on this. I do believe that Ryan Poles should be fired if these situations happen. Let's say Ryan Poles, and it goes either way. I'm going to give you 2 different scenarios. Let's say Ryan Poles decides to pick Caleb Williams with the number 1 overall pick, and in the process, trade away quarterback Justin Fields. Let's say Justin Fields goes to Atlanta and instantly makes Atlanta a playoff contender, and they go to the playoffs, and let's say they make a deep playoff run. I'm not saying they're going to win the Super Bowl, but let's say they make a deep playoff run with Justin Fields playing the quarterback position. While Justin Fields is doing that, and let's say he goes back-to-back playoffs, and let's say we're here in Chicago, and let's say in year 1, we give Caleb Williams a year because he's a rookie. I know there's some high expectations for Caleb Williams, and rightfully so. You're a number 1 overall pick. You're a generational talent. And, if you pick Caleb Williams, you're telling me that he's better than Justin Fields right now. But let's say Caleb Williams in year 1 goes 3-14 or wins 4 or 5 games. And then the year after that, he only wins 6 or 7 games. At that point, I think Matt Eberflus and Ryan Poles should be fired, because at that moment, you made a mistake trading away quarterback Justin Fields when you could have kept just Justin Fields on the Chicago Bears roster, traded the number 1 overall pick, continued to build around Justin Fields, and possibly be a playoff contender as soon as that next season. But it also is reversed. Let's say Ryan Poles opts to keep quarterback Justin Fields, trades down for the number 1 overall pick, in the process gets multiple first-round picks, multiple second-round picks, Marvin Harrison Jr., some other young pieces to add to the Chicago Bears football team, and Justin Fields still fails. He should also be fired, because in that aspect, you passed on Caleb Williams. Let's say Caleb Williams ends up going to Washington and he ends up being really good and leads the Commanders to the playoffs in his first season, or maybe in year 2. When you look at that aspect, then yeah, Ryan Poles and Matt Eberflus should also be fired. So this is, to me, very situational. And to me, this is why it's such a tough decision for Ryan Poles. I do think if you take Caleb Williams, it would buy him at least 2 years with Caleb Williams. But in 2 years, if Caleb Williams doesn't get it done, and let's say you trade away Justin Fields, and Justin Fields is absolutely balling with this new team, like in Pittsburgh or Atlanta, he's absolutely balling, elevating that team, taking them to the playoffs, he becomes a winner, then yes, Ryan Poles should be fired. But to say that Ryan Poles should be fired just because he passes on Caleb Williams initially, to me, it's just dumb. It's just dumb. I just found it interesting. I just wanted to share this with you guys. I just wanted to get your guys' opinion on this and just share my opinion on what Boomer Esiason had to say. And once again, he said a lot of truthful stuff about the Chicago Bears. The Chicago Bears are very close. So if Caleb Williams comes in and he is that generational talent, if he is that good, he should have no problem whatsoever to take this Bears team to the playoffs in year 1. And I truly believe that, because what Ryan Poles has done to this roster is absolutely incredible. You have your foundation on the offensive line besides the center position. If you can get the center position shored up, the offensive line is complete. You have DJ Moore. You have Cole Kmet. You have Tyler Scott and Velus Jones Jr. You're going to add another weapon in the NFL draft, maybe with the 2nd round pick that you get by trading Justin Fields. Maybe at number 9 overall, you get Brock Bowers, and maybe Rome Odunze falls to you. So you get another weapon for Caleb Williams to throw to in his first season with the Chicago Bears. You look at the Chicago Bears defense once again. Montez Sweat, Tremaine Edmonds, Jalen Johnson, Tyreek Stevenson. You add one more edge rusher to that Chicago Bears defense, I guarantee you it's a top 10 unit going into next season, especially with Matt Eberflus calling the plays. Once again, you bring in Shane Waldron to the fold, an offensive coordinator that's going to play to his quarterback strengths, his player strengths on the offensive side of the football, 24/7, in-game adjustments, all that good stuff, all the things the offensive coordinator should do for their quarterback. So Boomer Esiason's absolutely correct, and maybe that's why he's bringing and making this hot take and making this assessment, because he's basically saying, I believe that Caleb Williams is that good that he will come in year 1 with a very good young Bears team. Kudos to Ryan Poles, that he can come in year 1 and take this team to the playoffs. Because I'll tell you this right now, Bears fans, that is my expectation. Because at the end of the day, when you watch Caleb Williams, he has talent. He has a whole lot of talent. But once again, if you draft Caleb Williams, get rid of Justin Fields, you're telling me that Caleb Williams is better than Justin Fields right now, meaning the expectation no matter what, and it may seem unfair to some of you guys, but the expectation in year 1 will to lead the Chicago Bears to the playoffs. And obviously, if we keep Justin Fields, it'll be year 4, so definitely the expectation will be the playoffs for him as well. But no matter what, this Chicago Bears team is going to be really, really good. Or at least should be really good. And if they're not good, let's say we don't go to the playoffs next year or the year after that, Ryan Poles, Matt Eberflus, should both be fired. But at the end of the day, Bears fans, once again, no decision has been made. I just wanted to come on here and share this opinion from Boomer Esiason with you guys, because it just really did catch me off guard when he said Ryan Poles should be fired if he does not draft Caleb Williams. So once again, as always, engage with me. Let me know your initial reaction to what Boomer Esiason had to say about Ryan Poles and the situation regarding the quarterback debacle in Chicago. Let me know down below in the comment section. But as always, make sure you continue to hit that subscribe button and the bell notification to catch all Bears content right here on the podcast. Make sure you follow me on all my social media platforms, and make sure you share this episode of Geek on the Mic with every single Bears fan that you know. But other than that, I'll be back for an all-new Bears podcast right here on Geek on the Mic. Thanks, guys, and as always, bear down.
Been listening to Geek on the Mic, a podcast all about the Chicago Bears. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and hit the bell notification to catch all Bears content right here on the podcast. Thanks, guys, and bear down.